Good morning to everybody online and everybody here in the studio. It's a rainy Monday morning, and as I always try to remember, our gardens need the water as much as the sunshine, so enjoy the two stages of nature and nurture yourself. And with that, today we're going to start on our backs, feet facing the paintings. And just bring yourself to a comfortable position on your back. You may bend your legs, you may leave them on the floor, open a little bit to the sides, hands open to the skies. And I invite you to close your eyes and imagine the rain and the beautiful, beautiful smell of the ground, the petrichor. And just enjoy this awareness we have just by breathing into it. So with every inhale, soften your belly and fill up a little bit more than usual. And with every exhale, push some more air out, more than usual. Inhale, smell the rain. Exhale, let it go. Start scanning your body through your breath. So keep the engagement in that process of breathing, but also look at your body and see which parts and which muscles need your extra attention, and maybe set up an intention regarding that to this practice. Invite the softness of the breath to come into your mind as well. And if you had too much of a cloudy weather in your mind, let it rain. Discharge everything to the mat. And now everybody, big breath in and let it go. Bring the hands over your head, slowly, slowly awakening the movement. Have a stretch. And start circling your wrists and your heels on the floor or a little bit above it. Do both directions. And then bring the hands back down to the side of your body, and if your legs are not bent, then bend them and bring the feet to the mat and start windshielding the legs from side to side ever so slowly. Try not to drop them too fast. Engage a little bit of the core so nothing is overextended too fast. It's a controlled windshielding. Next time you're on the right side, let them be, release, and breathe into that release side twist on the back. If you need to shift the angles of your feet, please do so. Modify to your practice. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, you can always bring the right leg on top of the left knee, but be careful. Only if you know for this to be good for you. On your next exhale, release and take it to the left. Again, with respect and with your breath. And if we are in the theme of water and rain, think of the warm-up as the water that sips into the soil. How it looks for that opening and goes there without fight. That's what your breath should do. Go look for those openings in the muscle and do it slowly with no fight. And bring the legs back up. Bring them to your chest. Give yourself a huge hug and maybe inhale and exhale. Pull those legs with your hands to your chest. Exhale everything out, leaving all the spine on the back, on the mat, sorry. And then start rocking from side to side gently. It's always a beautiful, beautiful movement. I've been saying it lately. It's a somatic movement, so it really, by definition, calms your nervous system. Another thing you want before practicing. And then come back to center. Bring the hands under your knees and start rocking back and forth till you get to a seated position, but have fun with it. And also awaken the spine slowly and with respect. Beautiful. And once up, you can face me. Some side bends with the hands on the floor. Start with the right side. You are always opposite to me because I'm not mirroring you. And then take it to the other side. And just breathe into those side bends. I like to support myself with the hand, just an option. No need to really attack the obelisks at this point. One more to each side. And breathe, you guys, breathe. And come to center. Interlace fingers behind your sacrum. Inhale, open the chest. Don't curve the lower back though. Engage the core by sucking the belly in. Open the chest. Maybe look up. And release. But don't release the hands, just this. Maybe curl a little bit. And again, inhale, roll the shoulders back. Open the chest, look up. Exhale, roll back down a little bit. And actively roll the shoulders in, release the head. One more time, inhale, open the chest. Exhale, release back to center. Take it to a twist to the right. Again, you're opposite to me, and that's fine. And take it to the other side twist, to the left. Come back to center, walk the hands forward, release the neck. So maybe your forehead is on the mat, maybe not. And then just say no. Boundaries are so important. And every time you go to one side, take a breath. Come on back up to center. Roll the shoulders a couple of times to each direction, so back and forth. Maybe bob the head a few times just to check the neck. We just release it, but maybe some other. Maybe look to one side and then look to the other, like a profile picture from side to side, or bob it. Try both. And then walk the hands just far, like a foot in front of your hands. Pull those hips up and open the legs, coming to table. Adjust so your wrists and your knees are under the upper joints, shoulders and hips. You can tuck your toes under or not. And let's do some somatic movement again by pushing back to child's pose, and then forward over your wrists a little bit, testing the waters and pushing the fingers as well. Move in between those two poses with your breath, maybe releasing the neck. Breathe into the shoulders and the spine. And maybe on your next time you come forward, you move the hands a tiny bit more forward and release the hips. Kind of a modified upward dog. I'm not doing too much here, just releasing the hips. And child's pose. 2 more times to this movement wherever you are. And come back to table, adjust. Cows and cats next. So cow, inhale, curve your back. Cat, tuck your tailbone in, that will set the movement to cat. Rounding the back, releasing the head. Inhale, cow, roll those shoulders back, look forward or maybe even up. And cat. Again, flow between those two. Option here to add what we did before. So maybe walking the hands a little bit forward, and in cat, coming to child's pose, and in cow, to that modified upward dog. Just an option. You may stay in cats and cows. You may move your own way. In fact, you don't may, you have to. That's what you have. 2 more times, cats and cows, whatever version of it you are doing. And then bring it back to table, adjust, and wag your tail. So just move those hips from side to side. I'm leaving my hands straight, option to bend. Just find your movement here. Option to come all the way to your side. If you need a visual, just look at me. I'm just dropping the hips from one side to the other, but leaving the hands on the mat. Just a little bit of a stretch here. You can straighten the top leg every time you're on your side, as I'm doing. Very gentle with your breath. And come back to table. Breathe. And on your next inhale, push into the left hand and lift the right hand. Thread the needle. With your exhale, leave those hips up. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale up. Third time we stay. Stay and find a nice, sweet position in which your right shoulder is really happy. Don't push into it. No trauma needed. If this is not something your shoulder likes, come out of it. Maybe come to your forearms. And push into the left hand again. Right hand with your inhale up and down. Let's take it to the other side. Left hand up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale up. Exhale, thread it. Inhale up. Exhale, stay. Again, adjust. So move around to find where it is. As I said before, if the shoulder is not happy, you can always come to your forearm. Just here. And come on back up. Release the hand back down. Adjust. Send the right leg back to the air. Dial that right hip down. So don't open the hips. This is very tempting. Do this. So the toes are pointing down. Flex the foot plenty. Drive your core, it's weird, but drive everything into your right hand and then lift the left hand. Hold it here and then bend the right leg. Bring the left hand to grab it behind you. No pushing, no nothing, just hold it. Opening the chest. Release back. Lower the left hand, lower the leg straight behind you, and push back and forth a few times. Breathe, engage the shoulders by rolling them away from your ears and looking down, the crown of your head pointing to the front of the mat. And bring the right leg back in. Send the left leg back in the air. Dial that hip down. Square the hips. Then drill into the left hand. Bring the right hand up. Take a big breath. On your exhale, bend the left leg. Bring the right hand just to hold it. We're not kicking the leg. We're not doing anything. Just introducing this balancing pose. And release the hand, the right hand back down. Release the foot. And a little bit of pushing back and forth on the toes. Beautiful. Bring the left leg back. Take the right leg and cross it over the left behind you. Both legs are bent. Okay? Then back up with your hips and push forward. Back up with your hips as far as you can. If you can all the way down, beautiful. If not, just create the muscle memory as we go. This is beautiful for the hips and the knees. And then come back to an upright table, straightening the left leg to the right leg to the left. And again, push back and forth on your toes. Bring it back. Cross over the left leg behind the right, so they're pretty close, right? And then again, back and forth with a lot of respect and with your breath. It might be a small movement, it might be all the way down. It's basically the same principle as eagle, but on the floor, no balance involved. And then come back to an upright position, straightening the right leg to the left, behind, exactly. And just pump back and forth with your toes. You may look at your back foot, you may look forward, up to you. Bring it back to table, adjust. Tuck your toes under, come onto your heels, a quick warm up of the wrists. They're pretty warm because we've been on table, but just release whatever tension is built up or has been building up. Shake, magnetic wrists, anything. I love the shaking because it just warms me up and brings energy. And if you are shaking, do it with your breath. Or with a sneeze. Yeah, I don't know. Gesundheit. Come back to table. Leave the toes, not tap, as usual. And then tuck the toes under and lift those hips up and back to downward dog. Maybe legs are straight. And if not, bend the knees plenty. Roll those shoulders away from your ears. Release the neck and walk the dog, pedaling the feet. Option here to roll the heels to one side together and legs straight, hands straight, just drop the hips a little bit. So that is a more extreme movement from what we did in table. If this is too extreme, don't do it. It's just beautiful for the spine and to warming up the shoulders. Bring it back to downward dog and to stillness. Breathe. Say yes and no with the head. Push those hips back. Not only up in the air, but back to the back of the mat. One wholesome breath here. Then bend the knees plenty. Look forward and walk to meet your hands. Feet hip distance apart. Bend the knees plenty and release the neck. Hands can hang or be in ragdoll, holding opposite elbows. And just breathe. Let the ground pull your head with every exhale. Growing closer to earth. And on your next inhale, bring your forearms slowly to your thighs. Hold on a moment here. Just breathe. And then bring the hands to the thighs and push up in kind of like a decompression movement to the spine. Once you are up, tuck those glutes and the pelvis in. And only then adjust the unflaring of the rib cage and the opening of the shoulders. So it's a 3-point core engagement. Hands to the future. And just enjoy a big breath in Tadasana. Maybe coming back to that intention or that sore area in your body that needs some TLC. And assure it you are on the right track. Inhale, circle sweep the hands to the sky. Exhale, hinge from the hips, bend the knees, coming forward, never knees over the toes. Release to forward fold. On your inhale, hands to the shins, halfway lift, and stay here a moment. Micro bend the knees, tuck the tailbone in just a tiny bit without curving the back. Look down. Again, the cervical spine is really straight, so the crown of your head is shooting to the front of your mat. Roll those shoulders back, interlace the fingers behind your sacrum, and lift the hands with your inhale and the rolling of the shoulders back. Just open the chest in halfway lift. Release the hands back. Bend the knees and release yourself to forward fold. Bringing the hands to the mat, walking the legs to plank. In plank, always remember wrists under your shoulders, and you can lower your knees anytime. Tuck the tailbone in each case, in either case. And just hold it for one more breath. And then on the count of 6, bring those elbows in and come down to the mat. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the toes. Leave the hands next to your body. Engage the legs, so everything in my legs is working, including the glutes. And just breathe. On your next exhale, so inhale while I'm talking, come to baby cobra, lifting the chest, but lifting it from the back, so the hands can lift. And release back down, push to table. One breath in child's pose. Wholesome breath. Knees can be open or closed. And bring it back to table. Tuck your toes under, bring it back to downward dog. Walk the dog if needed, or wait in stillness. Small adjustment include releasing the head. Releasing it down. And once again, a little flow before the work. So bend your knees, look forward, hop or walk to meet your hands. Forward fold, a little bit more extreme this time. You can bend and extend your legs in forward fold, maybe bringing the forehead to the knees, or intentionally building muscle memory for that. And on your next inhale, come all the way up. This time, engage the core. You're not pushing with your hands. So suck the belly in, tuck the pelvis in. That will help. Inhale, circle, sweep the hands to the sky. Come straight back through heart center to mountain. Inhale and exhale. Come back to the yoga. Clear your mind as much as you can. Inhale, circle, sweep the hands up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back to plank, maybe jumping this time. Again, you can lower your knees. Progress is never linear, so take advantage of listening to your body. And just push. We've been here 2 breaths, so now we are 3. And just hold it here. Nothing fancy. Chaturanga Dandasana is next. If you want, you can do the version of baby cobra. So push forward, halfway down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. You can always take yourself to the mat, come up to baby cobra, back to table, back to downward dog. Chaturanga Dandasana is optional. On your next inhale, right leg goes up in the air. Bend the knee and open the knee to the sky, pushing the heel back. A little tweak here, push that left hip back with your hands and lower your chest. Yes, just go deeper into the pose. You're not doing anything, just going deeper. Then bring the leg back in, squaring the hips, bringing the right leg behind the left, as we did in table. Like an X, yes, behind. And then push back, push back. You will feel it in your lower back and the hamstrings, obviously. Beautiful stretch for pain in the lower back. And then back up to three-legged dog. Lift the back heel from the mat. Bend the right leg into your chest. Push forward, flex the foot, and step it in between your hands. Runners, make sure you're opening the feet. So hip distance apart is staying here as well. Knee stacked over your heel, and leave the left hand on the ground or on top of a block. Open the right hand to the sky. Option here to stay upright. Excellent modifications, you guys. Bring the right hand down. Release the back knee, the left knee, to the ground. You can stay with the toes tucked or untucked, up to you, and come to crescent. Open to a twist to the left. I'm sorry, to the right. I meant to say the right hand opens back. That's easier. And if you want to take it deeper, you can bend back a little bit, only if you're engaging the glutes. Bring it back. Come back to center. Hands together over your head. You can even go to steeple, so the index finger is up and the rest are interlaced. Engage glutes, square the hips, and come back a little bit. Dropping the head, dropping the hands. Bring it back to center. Frame the front leg. Tuck your toes under if they're not tucked. Come to runners. Come to high lunge. Scissor the inside of your thighs. Breathe. So the back leg is so strong. The front knee is on top of the ankle. My body is a little bit slanted forward, hovering. My hands are open and I'm looking to the top of my mat. Whew. Bring the hands over your head. Bend the back knee and come to crescent hovering. So we just did it, but with the knee on the ground. Now we're bringing up the level. If you wish, you can twist to the right, as we did before. Same sequence. You wish some more, bend back. If not, stay in the twist. Come back to the twist. Come back to the center. Shift weight forward. Bring the left leg to meet the right. Inhale. Tadasana. Nice work, everybody. Inhale, circle, sweep the hands to the sky. If you wish, a bit of a back bend engaging the glutes or not, just an option. And forward fold.
Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, jump to plank or walk. Leave knees up or down and breathe. So in plank, you can always count on your shoulders. And when I say that, I mean that's with tucking the tailbone in is the pose. You have to roll the shoulders back and then open the scapulas to the sides. That's the pose. Chaturanga Dandasana or Baby Cobra is next. Push forward, halfway down. Upward dog, downward dog. Walk the dog if needed. Guys, get off your wrists for a minute. Circle the wrists if you need. Drink water. Make it your practice. I will wait for you, okay? So if you need to do anything, do it. The heat is beautiful, but it's also intense. So have a go. I know I need to come back to the reset button. And whenever you're ready, and I will wait, don't worry, come to downward dog. Breathe. Come back to the yoga. And on your next inhale, left leg goes up. We bend the knee and push it up to the sky and the heel back to the right backside behind us. Now little tweaks here are pushing that right hip to the back of the mat some more, trying to bring the belly to be on it. So it's a extra push, that's it. And then bring it back, square it, and then bring the left leg behind the right leg, both are straight. And push those hips back, just as we did before with one leg. So I would assume you feel it on the right leg and the lower back. Bring it back to three-legged dog. Lift the right heel up from the mat. Bend the left leg to your chest. Push over your wrists. Flex the foot and step it in between your hands. Adjusting, leaving the right hand on the mat or block. You can also tent your fingers, by the way, and open the left hand to the sky. Make sure your front knee is not swaying. It has to be strong. Frame the front leg. Lower the right knee. Choose if you're tucking or untucking the toes. And make sure you're 90 degrees all around so you're stable. Open the hands up, lower those shoulders, and this time the twist is to the left. But pay attention to your hip. Don't go here. If you can grab a visual, don't do this. This is squaring the hips and engaging the glutes. Lower those shoulders. Option here to go back. Just a tiny bit. Don't go all the way. Engage glutes. Bring it back. Frame the front leg. Tuck the toes under if they're not. Come to high lunge. Here, again, the strength in the pose is that line between the crown of your head and the back heel. The base of the pose, however, is the inside of your thighs, so scissor them. Engage the core by sucking it in. Bring the hands over your head, roll the shoulders down, look to the top of your mat, and then bend the back knee to a hover, straightening the body on top of the hips. So we're stacking. Open once again to a twist to the left.
Maintaining that squareness of the hips, that's the key. If you wish, you can bend back. Push into the toes and bring it back to center. Bring it back to that high lunge. And then push forward, bringing the right leg to the left, coming to chair. So look down. If you don't see your toes, push those hips back. You want your knees further back from the toes. Tuck the tailbone in. Do not curve your lower back. Engage the core. Breathe. And on your next inhale, come on up. A little bit of a back bend if you wish, engaging the glutes, leaving the head to drop. And back to center, bowing forward. All the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, maybe jump to plank or walk. Maybe knees up, maybe knees back. Back on the mat. And just breathe. 3 words before, 4 is now. So take your time and breathe. Tuck that tailbone in, push the mat away, look to the top of your mat. But at the same time, think of your shoulder blades, open them. As if you're spreading your wings. Chaturanga Dandasana is next. Push forward, halfway down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Again, don't wait for me to tell you to drink water or use a towel or just have a break. Do what you need and breathe. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, right leg goes up in the air. Lift the back heel from the mat. Bend the leg to your chest. Push forward, step it as close as you can to the hands and lower the back, then take a little step forward with the back foot and lower the heel to the ground, setting up for warrior 1. Now, mind you, I like to open my foot a little bit to the back foot to the side. Maybe that's your choice too. Then look at yourself. Square the hips to the front. Bend the front leg on top of your ankle. Back leg straight up, as before in crescent. Push that leg back. Nice. Interlace the fingers behind your sacrum. Open the chest with your inhale and humble the warrior without moving the legs. So the legs are planted. And then if you're down and you have good balance and you're squaring your hips, lift those hands up. One more breath. On your exhale, bring the hands back down. Release and come on back up to warrior 1, squaring the hips, bending the front leg. Shift your hands back to airplane hands. Shift your weight forward, pushing with the back toes, coming to airplane, straightening the standing leg, but lifting the chest. Option here to come to warrior 3. Back toes pointing down. Square the hips. Hold the belly in. Then bend the standing leg. Bring the hands to the ground and stay with that leg straight back. Not standing split, just standing back. Then bring it behind your right leg, as we did in downward dog. Just hold it here, release to a forward fold.
Maybe bend the knees and extend. Bend and extend the knees. Just stretching the lower back and the hamstrings. Release the head. And then just bring the right leg back to its place that usual comes. Hip distance apart. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breather. You guys, I'm sweating like I don't know what happened. It's as if I'm the rain today. Inhale, circle sweep the hands to the sky. Forward fold all the way down, hinging from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Hold it for 5. I think you've noticed the pattern. Every time we're in plank, we're adding a breath. You can add your knees to the mat or a little bit of movement. I love to push myself back and forth in plank. But, you know, that's me. One more breath. Chaturanga or baby cobra next. Down, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Walk the legs just to reset yourself in downward dog and come to stillness. Breathe. Let it go. Then on your next inhale, left leg goes up. Lift the right heel up. Bend the leg into your chest and step it in between your hands. Then take a little step with the back leg forward and lower the heel. Again, option to keep both feet forward or open the back feet a little bit and then come to warrior 1. Now in warrior 1, the most important thing is squaring the hips. So there's a internal rotation of the right hip at this instant, and then lower those shoulders, suck the belly in, engage the glutes, interlace the fingers behind your sacrum. Inhale, open the chest, look up before humbling the warrior. Come all the way down. Whew. And then, if you're stable, bring the hands up. If you're not stable, open the feet a little bit. Keep on engaging the legs. So I'm pushing my toes into the mat, releasing the neck. One more breath. Lower the hands. Use core to come back up. Square the hips. Bring the hands back to airplane. Shift airplane hands, and then shift to airplane. Option here to come to warrior 3 with the hands in front of you. Now dial that right hip down. Hold it. One more breath. And then bend the standing leg. Bring the hands to the ground, leaving the leg straight back. Not standing split, you guys, just up. And then bring it behind the right leg. And once again, stretch that lower back, maybe by bending and extending the knees, the legs. Hands can be on the floor or on your legs if you want a little bit of a balance challenge. And then bring the left leg back to its lawful place next to the left leg and rise up. All the way up. Exhale to heart center. Breathe. Tuck the tailbone in. Don't flare the rib cage. Bring it in. So that
small movement will activate all your core. And then open the shoulders. Tadasana, hands down. So my kid said, oh, I know why this is a mountain pose, because you are doing a triangle with your hands. I thought that was cute. Inhale, circle sweep the hands to the sky, bending forward. Stay in downward, in forward fold for a moment. Then lift the right leg, push it back to runners, lower the back heel, and come up to warrior two. What do you know? We skipped a chaturanga. So warrior two, make sure your knee is on top of the left ankle. Open the hips, it's a hip opener to the side. Look forward, tuck the tailbone in, flip the front hand, reverse the warrior, but then straightening the front leg, the left leg, bring the right hand to grab the left wrist and pull just a tiny bit more. Sky archer. Then bend the front leg once again, release to warrior two, bring it to side angle, forearm to your thigh, front forearm, right hand to the sky. And we'll do the same trick. So here, option two, straightening your leg and come to triangle. Just the extended version of side angle. One more breath. Bend the front leg, come back to warrior two. Straighten the leg once more and bring the 2 feet to be parallel to each other. 5-pointed star. Nice breath here before lowering yourself to a forward fold. Please don't lock your knees. Push those hips back. And then on the way down, you decide what you're doing with your hands. Maybe they're in the middle, in between your legs, and maybe you're holding your legs. Option here to always stay here on your thighs with your arms on your thighs, like so. All options are valid. Please, no judgment. Then release the hands, everybody, to the center, whatever modification you need. It could be on the thighs. And try to play along with side lounges. They don't have to be deep. They just have to be fun. So find that fun movement. Maybe if you need more challenge, bring yourself up. Always an option. Shifting the hands from thigh to thigh. Just enjoy this. Option here to extend the right hand to the left once you're on folding the left leg. If you need a visual, look at me. And then bending the right leg, shifting the left hand to the right direction. So I'm just extending myself from side to side. Option always to move the heels or lift them as needed. And just so you know, I'm looking down. One or more of those, just release. A lot of stretching of the torso today. And then come back to center, to a forward fold. Micro bend the knees, engage the core, open the hands, and come on back up, engaging the core, as I said. Option here to interlace the fingers behind your sacrum. Push those hips forward, engage the glutes, then Inhale, roll the shoulders, drop the head. Bring it back slowly and with control. And then have the front leg the front is the left, by the way, to point to the front of your mat, coming back to warrior 2 on the left leg. Lift the back heel, and twist from the hips. You had the right idea, Mary Ellen. To the front, bring yourself to standing forward. That's it. Nice. We okay? Everybody sweating like I am? I'm not the only one? Good. No, just checking. I don't know. Maybe I need to check it out. I don't know. So, inhale, circle, sweep the hands to the sky. Come to a tiny bit of a chair. And then lift the left leg, push it back to runners. And then lower the back heel, coming up to warrior 2 on the other side. I'm going to switch sides. Nice. Make sure you take the time to adjust. My feet, I like it in a T, so I have to move my front leg a little bit. And then I have a tendency to do that. Bring your knee over your ankle. So you're not here, you're here. Open the hands, roll the shoulders down, flip the front hand, reverse the warrior. One breath here, and then straightening the front leg, bring the left hand to hold the right wrist, and just pull a little bit. Just another layer of stretch here, right? Then bend the front leg. Exhale slowly back to warrior 2. Bring it to side angle, right forearm to the thigh, left hand to the sky. A full breath here, adjust. And then straightening the right leg, releasing the right hand to full triangle, only if you wish. Breathe, engage the legs. And then bend the front leg. Come on back up to warrior 2. Bring the feet to be parallel. This time, bring those heels in. Okay? I'm going to face the cameras. Bring those heels in and then bend the knees, making sure the knees are wide open. So you push them back, trying to bring your weight to the outer side of your feet. So actively push it open, creating more of an arch in your foot. Yeah, I'm just doing this. It's just a tweak. So push your weight back, open the legs. That's it. Then once you're here, push the hips forward. Then release the tension in your feet. You're in goddess. Different way to just cue this and pay attention to other things that are happening here. It's a beautiful, beautiful pose for your feet. Hands can do whatever. Just hold it one more breath and come lower. Nothing fancy, we're just holding. Hands can be heart center, lotus, side of your body, whatever you wish. Let it tremble. Yes. One more breath. And come on up. Straightening all limbs, hands over your head. Then interlace fingers behind your sacrum as we did before. Don't lock the knees. Inhale. Push back a little bit. Bend back, sorry. Push those hips forward. Now this is different because the feet are different. Play along with the balance. And bring it back. And everybody, bring it back to warrior 2 with the right leg in the front. However you do that, that's fine. Lift the back heel. Work from the hips, mobility here. Like we're first surfers, right? Finding the balance, and then twist those hips. It's not twist, but turn to the front. Bring the back leg to meet the front. Simple. A little bit of a circle motion of the hips. If circling the hips is not good for you, just do it from your knees. So you just do the knees, and the hips are gonna follow. You don't have to do this, right? Your choice. You can do this too, if you like. Just twist again, like we did. Yeah. Okay. A drink of water would be beautiful now. I'm gonna drink and just breathe. So by my calculations, you should be, and if you're not, then meet me there, in kind of like the top third of your mat, which is wonderful. Open the feet to the width of the mat and bring those heels inward. Again, same as we did in Goddess, we are bending the knees the same direction as the toes. Halfway, we push those hips back. So this is a gorilla, okay? Stay here for a minute. Do what gorillas do. They put the knuckles on the mat, right? And now try to move the hips and the legs. Now, granted, it might be very weird for you, so don't. But if you can, just do this. It's so good for the lower back. And then meet me or come straight ahead to yogi squat. You can lift your heels here if you need. Another option, put a block under your bum bum here just to support you. But if you are with the heels down, engage glutes. Crunch them. You are not sitting on your knees and heels. You don't want to stack all your weight on them. Your thighs can support you, so engage the glutes. And then release the glutes. It's not pretty, just go. Just go for it. So sometimes we also have non-elegant transitions, and that's fine. Oh, that's wonderful. Let's do that. Put the feet on the mat and just rock them from side to side with hands behind you. Beautiful. There's also a really sweet spot in your glute when you do this, which is beautiful. If you have balls at home, like tennis ball, put it under and go over it and do circular motions, especially if you're a runner. This is so sweet. And then extend the legs forward, a little bit of a forward fold with the feet in flex. You can hold the shins, I was blacking out for a minute, or the feet, and release the head. You don't have to go all the way down, it's just release. Rounding the back. Maybe bending the knees. And then come on back up. Bend the right leg so the foot is in the inside of your left leg tree, basically, okay? And then bend over the left leg. Option here to use strap, so over your foot or your towel.
Nice long breath. Always option to bend the knee. Always. And then come on back up slowly.
Twist your torso onto the right leg, then bring the left hand over the thigh and twist. A different way of twisting with the hip open. We usually do it with the leg up. So if you feel better with the leg up, your practice, you guys. And then bring it back slowly, slowly, slowly. Twists are dangerous. And bring your leg on top of your other leg. So the right leg is lying on top of the left. If this is not available, you can just put it up. Okay? It's up to you and your hips. And then roll forward.
By the way, if you suffer from back pain, this is really good. This is one of the exercises that really helped my back. I have some back injuries, so that really is good for me. Try it. Might not be good for you, but I understand if not. And the challenge here is to release the back. It's kind of like opposingly to everything I say. It's just like melt into the upper leg, just melt. No core, no back, nothing. And then slowly, slowly bring it up. Come out of poses with respect. And let's take it to the other side. So left foot inside of the right leg, forward fold over the right leg. Take your time. We're breathing into these stretches. Use a strap if you need, and breathe. One more breath. And on your exhale, come on back up slowly. And then we're going to twist onto the left leg, bringing the right hand over the thigh. So that's a point of contrast, right? It will help us out. Left hand behind you and twist. I find this more forgiving than the leg up for the hip flexor. So if you don't like the forgiving pose, go full Monty and step the leg up. And bring it all back, slowly coming out from a twist. Then the left leg on top of the right. I try to bring knee above knee if you can. Even if it's standing up, then the same way. And then just let go. Forward folding. You can leave the foot in flex if you want a little bit more activation or not. There's a lot going on in just releasing the back, the neck, the shoulders. So maybe you don't need to activate the leg as well. One more breath. And pull yourself back up, releasing the leg to the mat, coming to your forearms behind you, bringing the soles of your feet together. And then releasing yourself to the mat. So option here to stay wherever you are, or bring the palms of your hands onto your thighs and push into the thighs, decompressing the lower back. Now if you bring the feet closer to your bum bum, you can maybe contrast more.
You can bring some movement and just sway from side to side, flapping those butterfly wings, and just release the lower back. You decide how much power or force you're using into the thighs. And then release all engagement. Bring the feet to the mat and windshield the legs from side to side, much as we started. Hands can do whatever side of the body, on your belly, controlling the breath, or over your head, if you need an extension and opening of the chest. Next time you're on the right side, leave them there, leg on top of leg, just for a breath or two, opening the hands to a T. On your next exhale, use the core, not only the momentum. So try to glue the back, the lower back to the mat, and the legs will just follow. And then release them to the left. Again, opening the hands to a T, and find that angle where the legs are sitting one on top of the other, and it's sweet. Engage the core once more, trying to glue the lower back to the mat so the legs just go up. Release the left leg to the mat, interlace fingers, and bend the right leg to your chest. Removing pose, so just pull that leg into your chest and away from your rib cage. Option to open the right leg to the right, straightening it up all the way, maybe using a strap. But please don't engage the left leg. Just release. Nice slow breaths. Letting all the gifts of the practice to find their way through the breath. And on your next exhale, bend the leg back in. Just before lowering it, you can bend and extend the leg a few times just to check. Maybe circle the leg in its socket to just release any bit of energy still there. And then bend the left leg to your chest. Interlace fingers on your shin. Pull it in. To the side if you need. And bring it down to Shavasana. Take your time arriving to the mat. So if you need anything else, do it. Enjoy the last hurrah of the body before that final pose that teaches us to let go, even if we want to keep on moving. Shavasana can be done anywhere, anytime. But the best Shavasana comes after a sweaty practice. Let yourself melt, breathing, releasing, and quieting down. A few breaths in complete silence. And start slowly, slowly to introduce some movement back into your body, whatever that may be. And remember to carry on the silence through the week, coming back to that mind Shavasana whenever you need. Circle the wrists maybe, wiggle your toes. Maybe a stretch, stick pose here with hands over your head like after a beautiful night's sleep. And release. And then, if you wish, you can stay in Shavasana, but if not, roll to one side and push yourself back up to a seated position on your own time, facing me. Let's take a big breath in and let it go. We'll conclude the practice with the sacred sound of Om. First a cleansing breath. And exhale. Inhale and Om. Thank you for practicing with us. Namaste. Have a great week, you guys. You're welcome.